So, Senator Andosha, what is your position on trans athletes in school sports? Well, actually, I'm glad you asked that because here's the truth. I don't really have one. Look, first of all, this is an issue that impacts a relatively small set of my constituency, and it's really not something that they're coming to me with to solve. So it's not foremost on my mind. Secondly, it's a really new issue. We don't have established norms and values to deal with these problems yet. So I've read some testimonials and I've read some cases, and the nearest I can tell is sometimes being transgender constitutes an advantage, sometimes it doesn't. And that's really not an awful lot to go on for the purposes of legislating. If we're going to legislate on something that is relatively new, we want to make sure that we get the legislation right. We even have to figure out if the legislation is necessary at all, which I'm not convinced it is. Look, whenever we're facing something new, like trans athletes, then that issue should be approached using reason and empathy first. And since this is something that deals with children and kids and young people, we need to balance the needs of the kids with the rights of the kids, all of the kids involved, not just the transgender kids and not just the cisgender kids, but all of the kids. Now, fortunately, we do have trained professionals who do this for a living. Every single day, they balance the needs of children and young people with the rights of those children and young people, and they do this by approaching it with reason and empathy, and they do this for a living. That's our educators, our teachers. So I'm for empowering teachers and educators and school administrators to take a look at the needs of their kids and make the best decisions for their particular schools and districts. And then maybe if this becomes an issue that a lot of my constituents are coming to me and saying, hey, you need to solve this issue, Senator Andosha, then we'll have some information to go on as to what practices and strategies work and which practices and strategies don't work. In the meantime, I want to focus my energy on a much bigger issue like multi-billion-dollar companies whose employees don't make a living wage and are working multiple jobs just to make ends meet. That's an issue that we need to actually legislate on, and it's not a new thing.